welcome to the International Desk. I'm Lynda Kinkade at the CNN Centre. I will take care of women like nobody else can. Those words from Donald Trump after spending days under fire for his comments about a female journalist who moderated the Republican presidential debate. The billionaire businessman appeared in a wide-ranging interview on CNN a short time ago. He touched on a variety of issues, including abortion, foreign policy, and his controversial comments about Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly. Here's some of that interview with CNN's Chris Como.
You've talked about the military. You say you'd hand it to ISIS. The Iran deal stinks. People are going to want to know
what
how
did you say? I'd hand what to ISIS?
You would hand it to ISIS. You would give it to them. You know, you would really take them on. You said,
so your definition of handed is a lot different than
I'm not saying that you would give something to them.
There's no question.
How would you knock the hell out of them?
I would take the oil away. I'd take their money away. I'd take their source of money away.
How do you take the oil?
I'd make sure that Saudi Arabia and by the way, Iran, which gives plenty of money to ISIS, I would make sure, believe it or not, Iran is funneling money into ISIS too. And Iraq is going to Iran, just like I predicted
how do you
in
do
2004.
You put troops on the ground?
I would go in and take the oil, and I'd put troops to protect the oil. I would absolutely go in. I'd take the money source away, and believe me, they would start to wither and they would collapse.
But what about, but you have to get the oil. And, you know, Iran would say, we're actually one of the ones who are fighting you, fighting ISIS for you in a lot of places, and that's why they got some leverage at that deal table.
With Iran. Do you know, even if the deal isn't approved, they still get the money?
Let's get more on that compelling interview. Athena Jones joins us now from CNN Washington. Athena, for what seems like a first, we really saw Donald Trump offer some policy positions, although he still managed to deflect quite a bit, saying he has to be flexible on policy. What did you make of it?
I thought it was remarkable, Lynda, as you mentioned. It was a wide-ranging interview, half an hour long, and we heard Trump for the first time sound a bit more thoughtful, maybe take a pause and try to answer some of the questions that maybe he hadn't been asked before, or if he had been asked them before, he hadn't really answered in a fulsome way. So we got to see some of that, and yet he still did also deflect. He deflected when criticized or asked if he needed to apologize about his comments about women. He deflected that to Jeb Bush. He didn't really answer what his tax reform policy would be. He said, you know, you just replace it with something better. And so we got to hear him talk about in a more fulsome way about some things like Planned Parenthood funding, for instance. He, unlike other Republican candidates and certainly Republicans on Capitol Hill, said, hey, I wouldn't necessarily defund the Women's Health Organization. I'd take a look at some of the good things that they are doing. I have a problem with what they do with abortions, but I wouldn't necessarily defund them. So he tried to offer a little bit of nuance. And I think that this is going to be a first for a lot of people who have been wanting to hear a little bit more from him. He, again, didn't get too specific, but at least he gave a little bit fuller answers on a variety of subjects. And one more thing we heard from him that we really hadn't before is that he's considering what his policy might be on demanding equal pay for equal work for women. He said that his top executives, women executives, often make more than men in his own company. So that was interesting to hear as well. Lynda?
We would love to continue this conversation, but we have to leave it there for now. Athena Jones, thank you very much.